Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Amax Games, Two Idiots Learn to Code, episode 26 of our Brain Drain series. We will be continuing off from our last episode, where in our last episode we tried to add a screen shake and then hit our limit in ChatGPT. So we never got a chance to test it, but if I jump back to our to-do list, so we want to an app purchase shop is something that can come later, but we want to test the screen shake and wrong answers. We want to find some fireworks assets, which we actually did, but we've not learned how to integrate them yet. Integrate Unity Analytics and Firebase Crashlytics. Investigate the ability to feedback directly into Discord for our Discord server. Improve input handling, i.e. enter on question, that should be. Rather than submit, also check answer. I actually think I implemented that. I'll need to double check that while entering code earlier on. And escape pauses a game, back button on phones also pauses a game, right? So we've got some things to work through. We've got some things to test. And we shall see how we get on. So if we jump back into our project, and I shall jump into our code and open that up momentarily for us. Doesn't really matter which one I open, it opens them all anyway, I believe. Okay, so if we scroll down to the bottom of Brain Drain, what we did is we set up a screen shake and we put in some shake debug things in order to do so. So we wanted to test that. So let's just hit play on our project and we can test this. So if I submit that, should be fine. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select our main camera, or our main canvas, sorry. And when I click on screen shake, these coordinates here should change to show that it's shaking. Okay, I did not see a shake, but it did try. Now the reason I think that it's not showing me the shake, if I just stop that just now, is because as you can see, I can't edit these, right? Now I believe that's because they're under the main camera here. So I think we're going to have to make some changes to this. The first thing I want to do is I want to bring up the window or general and which one is it? Nope. Version control. So I want to bring up Unity version control and I'm just going to check these in. And then I'll check these in with added reshake. Let me just check these in so I have a backup. Oh, that's 500 meg? Really? What the heck is it backing up? What the heck is that backing up? It's usually only a few meg. That's interesting. Okay, let me just... I did add the Firebase stuff, I suppose. And the firework stuff, so perhaps that's correct. It does seem a bit large though. If that's the case, I may need to keep an eye on that because I don't want to be paying for vast amounts of storage for version control. So with that in mind, we've now got our backup. So what I think I have to do here is I need to right click in here and create empty. and I will call this main. No, I'm in date. Let me delete that. My apologies. My brain is working faster than, or my mouth is running faster than my brain. So I want to right click and go at UI, and I want to go to canvas, and I'll just call it main game. And then from main game, I want to drag in my main canvas. Okay. So now if I select main game, oh, it's still not working. So why is that? That's interesting. So I need to be able to, if you look at any of these, when I click on anything else, I have the option to change these positions. It's not grayed out. So let me Control Z and Control Z. Again. Okay, move that back and then delete that, and then delete the canvas. Perhaps then I just take our main canvas and move it out. But it's still not allowing me to change these. Some values are driven by the canvas. Okay. So why is it not letting me change these? Is it because... No, screen space overlay seems fine. Scale with screen size. Interesting. So screen shake's going to be an interesting one to do then. Okay, let's just try something here. I would not recommend this, but if I turn off, for example, vertical layout group, does that help? No, it doesn't unlock them. Is it the canvas scaler? No, doesn't unlock them either. Okay, this might be a deeper issue to try and work out. Something must be in this canvas that's stopping us from being able to make any changes. So let's just have a look online. Rect transform, some values driven by canvas. Let's just look that up and see if it will tell us any hints as to why that might be. So rect, is a rect control, some values set by canvas. Yeah. Copilot. When rect transform, okay, controlled by a canvas. Arts layout system this typically happens when rect transform is part of a UI hierarchy managed by a canvas and its influence components like canvas scaler. Okay, so it's a canvas scaler. Is that true? So is this because I'm trying to use the safe area? Let's turn off the canvas scale and try this again. So it still didn't unlock these areas. I don't understand why. If I move it, can I move it further back? Oof, don't know what happened there. So the game scene's not controlled by it, but it still won't let me change these. That's interesting. So it's not the canvas scaler. Okay. So, excuse me. Why don't we try the absolutely terrible and no wonder it's free Unity AI to see if it can help? Okay. So we'll add our main canvas to this. And we'll ask, why can I not change the position X, pause Y, or pause Z of this game object? Let's see what it says. So it could be the screen space overlay. So I can't change the anchor positions. You can change the render mode of the canvas to world space. This will let you manipulate the position like a regular game object in 3D space. Okay, so let's try that. I'll just move this to another monitor just now. And I shall change this to world space. Oof, what the happened there? So Control Z on that one. Okay. I'm gonna hit play in this, but I think this completely just screwed this up. However, oh, 100% that just screwed that up. Look, it's not even close to where it's supposed to be. Stop. So can't use world space. What about camera? Can't use camera because as soon as we do camera, can't change it, can't use overlay. So it's got to be world space. Okay. That's unfortunate. So it's just Control Z all our way out of this until our main canvas is back under our camera. Okay, so this is back to where we started. So if that's the case, I can't change anything under the camera. But if I do this, does it still disappear? Looks like it does. I'll hit play again. But we might have to rethink this one because I have no idea why it looks perfect on screen in front of me. But when we hit play, it jumps down. I wonder if that's to do with the anchor point, because the anchor point is the bottom left, maybe? Let's have a look. What's the anchor point for this? if I change this back here, so I can't really change anything there. So was the anchor point for the camera, is that what it's complaining about? Okay, I'm quite confused here. So normally when we select something, I'm presuming it's because it's a canvas, to be fair. Let's just confirm that. If I select like the logo, right, yeah, so if I select the logo, then the rect transform has an anchor point that can be set. But if I select the main point, it doesn't. Oh dear. So why would the canvas then, why is it stuck down the bottom corner here? Okay. I mean, do I need to just move this and stretch this out? Is that what this is? Like, can I move this without? Doesn't look like I can move this. So can I expand it? Okay. I can expand it. But that's now too big. So use transform. No, that doesn't help either. Interesting. So let's take out, let's stop these from being in the main camera, for example. Right, let's just move them down and off of the main camera. Okay. So now we're off the main camera. Exchange this with world space. Okay, so this is the, right, so the main camera is now showing the world space. How do we, no, that's you turning it, David. How do we shrink this down? Or can we just set the size? I mean, it would be 19, 20. It would be 1080. It's this pivot point here though. We need to be able to change this pivot point. Or maybe not, right? Hold on. Can I now move this? No, I can't. Unity, what are you doing to me? Can I move them? I can move the main camera. Right. Let's try this now. Now select the main canvas. Or actually, if I select the main camera, shrink this down a bit. Okay, move it. it up a little bit. Something like that, maybe. So if that's the case, if these are now set in world space, does it still throw a hissy fit now when I click play? Yes. Why did it move down here? That makes no sense. Okay, let's try something else. Let's try selecting our main camera. Okay, let's bring her. And does it still work? I mean, it works, but it's all kind of bunched up now. Not really sure why it's bunched up. Let's go to our main canvas. Okay, vertical layout group doesn't have any padding. 25 maybe. Something like that maybe. Okay. That's annoying. But I don't know why it moves. Right. For the time being, let's hit play. Oops. Okay, let's move this back up in here. Let's test the screen shake. It probably won't work though because it's not. Oh, oof. Right. Okay, that's wow. Right. Yep. Screen shake worked. Wow. Okay. Now that I've actually done that, if I hit play again, does it automatically jump away again, or is it remembering that? Right. Okay. So maybe I just have to move things down. So let's grab the main camera. And we'll need to just remember these coordinates when we move it down. So let's bring it down to there. So 15 minus 978 minus 10. 15 and 978 minus 10. 15 and 978 minus 10. Okay, so now that I've moved all of these, go up here and grab the camera, move it down. Now when I hit play, does it work? Or did I just waste my time? It worked. It's now looking awful compressed, alright, but that's fine, so I can stop that. Go to our main canvas. And I'll just add 25 padding across the board. Try that again. No worries. Can maybe do a wee bit more spacing to be fair, but that doesn't seem to be too bad. So select that and it's correct. And if I make a mistake, I get a screen shake. So the screen shake lasts too long. I need to check the pause canvas. And what's the other canvas? And the report pop-up. Right, so I need to check them now that I've made changes. But let's stop the seizure-inducing screen shake. While I want the screen to shake, I don't want it to give you a seizure. So maybe bring this down to 10. And 1 second. Let's try that. So save that. We shall jump across. Give it a moment to recompile. Okay, why is that not playing? Oh, because it was recompiling Davie, you didn't hit play. Down bar. That's so much slower now. Let's get this one wrong. Is that still too long? I think that's still too long. So we'll make it 0.5. Could probably drop that to maybe 5F. No, I want it to be like a little shake. That seems pretty fair, to be fair. Yeah, okay. So I think we're good with that one. Oops, right, let me test the pause and the report question button. So pause, seems fine, resume, and report question. Okay, yep, submit. And report question. Okay, so that definitely needs to be changed, but let's just stop that. So the report question needs to be changed, but it does work. So let's go into the report pop-up. So let's disable this and enable this. Okay, so there definitely needs to be more padding at the bottom. To be fair, auto size would actually work for that. Probably resolve the problem. Because I don't see padding in here. Space and options per character, page and lines, words, alignment, text wrapping, overflow, vertical mapping. Yeah, I don't see any other way to do it. We'll try that again. Oh, scheiße. Stop that. So we can hide this one again. And we can make this one live again. Okay, report question. There we go. It's fine. Right, so I think it's probably safe to say that that's been tested and fixed. Yay! That was rather more painful than I was expecting, if I was being honest. Don't need that open. Okay, so the test screen shake on wrong answer. I will have to test these in a physical device, but we can do that, excuse me, momentarily. Okay. So there's other things I did actually want to do. So I'll add these in here while I remember. So add banner, add on pause. And I wanted to offer double score for rewarded that. Also in hardcore, in survival, offer extra life for rewarded at. Okay. I also wanted to ask AI how to handle. Jesus, my typing's getting worse. So I want to ask AI how it would handle the difficult curve for survival and of survival and hardcore, because at the moment the difficult level only affects round mode. So yep, more things to add. Yay! Okay, so which one do you think we should target next? Let's make it nice and easy. Let's go to our guru and give it our massive brain drain script. How can I have the back button open the pause? menu on mobile when pressed. In fact, I'll let it do a code review first, because it'll take a moment to do that. Okay, while that's thinking about that, I need to start adding some more stuff on Amax Games about the upcoming game and trying to promote it. I'm also considering rating a Discord bot and actually doing a tutorial on that, although it's not a game, because it's also about running the business. That's interesting. It's noticed that my Amax Games is slightly different. I love I do like watching Grok work. I like the fact that it shows its thinking process. It is much slower than ChatGPT. I've also, obviously this is a free version of Grok, so it's Grok version 3 I'm using. Be interesting to see what Grok version 4 is like. But I will take on what it just said, Amax Games. Which one's under? It's under Quiz Manager. No, Vendor Socials Manager, or something like that, isn't it? Yeah, that's there. Just update that for consistency, like it said. And see it's finished. Okay, so it's given me a nice dump. It's given me a huge dump. Okay. Possible bug fixes. In survival hardcore mode, the timer uses turns at real time, which is correct for ignoring time scale. However, while pause in the coroutine keeps running since yield returns null, that's in every frame. Unit time scale goes if the player pauses for longer than the remaining time, the while loop condition will fail, triggering times up during the pause. To fix this, stop the coroutine. Okay. So I've updated my Twitter handle, so I did that one. So it wants me to add this. Oops. Under pause game. So let's do that. I've also forgot the question I was going to ask it because it thought for that long, and my brain doesn't retain information like that clearly. And how many times did I have to work on the pause in this? Okay, here's pause game. Here's pause game here. Okay, so interesting. It should actually show a banner ad. In pause, it looks like I've already added that. That's interesting because I've never seen a banner ad showing when it's been paused. Okay, so yep, let's add that little truth to our handler fixed. Yeah, I'm not using normalization at the moment. Main redundancy, update score, cache, the ability to add cache, calls on both. Yep. Yeah, okay. I'll check before starting is add coroutine not equal to null. Let's start it. Okay. That I have the game pause on mobile when the back button's hit. Wow. Okay, it seems to have screwed up its response there. So it wants me to change my update. So let's go back here and find update. Okay. So where's game over? Right, so it's just basically adding this in at the end so I can replace the whole lot. Awesome. Right. And if it's on the pause screen, okay, that went a bit more. That went a bit more in depth than I was expecting. So it's a different update. Keep free minimal, just enable add. Okay, blah blah blah. Handle the back button. Okay. If input get that is escape. If is paused. And then not as game over, pause game. Else if it's paused, pause it. If time since last press, less than double press time. Yeah, I don't think I want to go down that route just now. Okay. So I'll not be able to test this. I'll not be able to test this till I'm on a physical device. So I shall go back here and I'll put test back button pauses on physical device. Okay. So we'll strike through that one hopefully just now. And apparently I do have a banner. It should appear on pause, even though I've not seen it. I'll need to double check that. Okay. So let's put the things in that are more useful. So let's ask how it would handle the difficulty curve. So thank you. How would you handle the difficulty on survival and hardcore modes as currently difficulty currently only round mode uses difficulty settings. See what it says. Wow. Grok never gives you a simple answer. So I think this is a catch-22. Like ChatGPT is just like, yeah, do this. Whereas Grok's like, no, let's think this through. And gives you really large outputs like this. But obviously I now have to go back and walk my way through it. I like this tier beginner, tier master stuff. Oh, also suggests reducing the timer. Oh, actually, I don't know how useful that would be. That might not be useful based on. Yeah, that might not be useful based on the fact you've physically got to type some of the answers. So if you had 100 seconds, you'd be losing 30 seconds. And I can't remember what I've set a timer at. I actually think the timer is only about 30 seconds, maybe 45. So, right, let's go back up to the start and see what it said. Modify load random question method to select questions in survival and hardcore modes based on the dynamic difficulty system. You can base the difficulty on the player's current streak since it's tracked. Okay. Define current streak, use of the existing difficulty. Yep. Creates a threshold for current streak. So streak 0 to 4, streak 5 to 9, streak 10 plus. I don't know how much that's. I like the idea, but 10 questions seems a bit. I don't know about that. I was expecting something different. I don't know what I was expecting, to be fair, but I was not expecting that. So for this survival mode, if the streak is less than 5, if current streak is less than 5, so 80% easy, 20% match if current streak is less than 10, 80% medium. Actually, that might make sense. That might actually make sense. I'm going to add this in anyway. We can always ask it to tweak it if need be. Okay. So load random question has to change. Is that the full thing? Yeah, looks like it is the full thing. Okay. And it's got errors. Okay. So it wants me to add this to it. Taking note that I could be completely screwing this up. Okay. Is this actually wrote the first wrong code that Grok has ever given me? Yes, it has. I don't know where the meal comes from. There you go. Did I actually say brick meal or did I accidentally type meal on top of it? I did say brick meal for some reason. No idea what that's enabling. Okay. So, in theory, we should now have a difficulty based on our streak. It's back here. A moment to recompile. Pour myself some juice while I'm waiting. Okay, so let's open the main menu scene because we'll be starting there. Yep, we shall save. Okay. My settings, mute the music. Close. Go into survival mode. Okay, so I've got a 0 streak. Okay, it's thrown in a medium question. Easy. Okay, my streak's bouncing now. I like that. It's the first time I'd spotted that. So it's thrown some medium. There we go. First hard question. So it's ramped up the difficulty. I do think it's ramped up a bit too quickly, to be fair. But it does have to use an algorithm, so but yeah, now my streak's high. It's giving me all hard questions. Okay, yeah, that works, but I definitely think we're going to have to tweak that. So we've asked AI how to handle difficulty. In fact, we've kind of implemented that. I think I'll wait for feedback from people when we're actually testing that. I think that wraps up too quickly though. I think it maybe should be based on your best streak, or the difference between your current streak and best streak before it starts to ramp up, something like that, but we shall see. Awesome. So I don't need to worry too much about that then. So let's go back to our game scene. Okay, and let's say which one of these shall we pick, shall we? Awesome. So I've given it just all up here. And I've just remembered that Amax Games is actually set in here somewhere, isn't it? Yeah. So I need to correct that. Okay. I'll put cool. I've made some of these changes. So cool. I have made some of these changes. I'd like to offer an extra life in survival and hardcore mode if you have none left, and watch a reward that is available, and you watch it. Okay, let's see what it comes back with that. So it's going to take a while to go through that. It's picked out what I want to actually do, and that's nice. Wow, that's a lot of changes it's wanting me to make. Jesus. Right. Croc's answers have been fine. So let's go back to the top. Create new game object panel, scene, ED, extra life panel. Yep. Edit by default. Okay. So new game object panel, extra life panel. New game object UI panel. Nope, back here. Name extra life panel. Come on, David. So what the heck has happened there? Is it just really zoomed in? That's fine. Okay. So a new UI element, text mesh pro. And is it 2 buttons it wanted me to add? Yep. Okay, right click button and right click button. Okay. So watch add text. Okay. Watch add button and line button. Okay. So watch add and line. Okay. So let's hide our main canvas for now. Let's go over to this canvas. Let's add our vertical layout group. What was it? 50, 50, 50, 50. Okay. I don't need it to be full screen, so why the hell is it all the way up there? So select resize, can bring it. It's not letting me bring it down. Why isn't it letting me bring it down? The panel I need to resize then. No, it's not letting me do that. Oh, interesting. Right, we can worry about that in a minute. Watch add text. Would you like watch the ad? What the extra life? Okay, well, that was nice and easy. So I can zoom in here, zoom out a little bit, just grab that and wing that across. Can also punch that up a little bit to be fair, and turn on auto size. And I can probably make these bigger. So what did I have for the pause button? 540, no, 560 by 77. That's pretty big to be fair. So 560 by 77. Five 60, 77. Awesome. And we shall auto resize. Okay, go back up here, and I want the middle center. Oof, ooh, that middle center did not work well. That did not work well. Right, okay, so if I resize this and I move this back here, that should work. Back in here and move that in like so. There we go. And it would be watch and add, not a add. I swear English is my first language, almost. Okay. So let's hide the extra life panel. Let's reshort main canvas. Okay, we shall file and save for now. Okay, jump back over here. So I've created new elements. It wants me to add new headers. So it wants me to assign the panel, which add for extra life, declare add for extra life. So that's the button clicks, or what buttons to associate, and extra life and gaming slots limit to 1 offer per session. Yeah, actually. Yep, so it's only giving me the one option. So these go up the top. Is this going to push me over the 1500, 1500 lines of code for a single script? I think it might, because it's not far off. 66 lines. Okay, subscribe to an add event. Okay. Does it just, oops. So it wants this in Unity add manager.cs. Save this one so far. Wise. Let's tell me about action, but action's not a thing. Okay. So brain drain quiz.start. Hopefully we'll be able to fix that. Okay, yeah, so it's done it inside there. Okay, on unsubscribe, or rather on destroy. Okay. But where should this one be handled? Copy. Presumably inside here. Okay. So add the new on extra life logic. Oh, so close here. So, I mean, like, it checks whether there's an ad manager. It checks whether you've already been asked or offered life. If you have, it ends the game. Otherwise, it shows you the panel for the extra life and hides the main menu panel. It then sets up the buttons. And if you decline, then it ends the game. And it also shows a banner ad during the offer. I quite like that actually. So we've got if is survival. And instead of check answer. And so if is survival, current streak. Lives less than or equal to 0. Where's that? Okay, so that's in there. If it's survival, current streak equals 0, so we want to add the after update game UI. So if lives less than or equal to 0, offer an extra life. Okay, so in survival timer, lots of edits for this one. See if I score. And Control F, survival. No, I was just there. Never mind. Try that again. There we go. Survival timer. So it's the same if lives equals 0. Okay. Clean up in edge cases and pause game resume game ensure extra life panel is handled. Paused. Okay. Okay, so that looks fine. But is this still, does it still have an error? Yep. Okay, so I think that's actually supposed to be system.action. So it is, just based on the fact that it's pretty much identical to this one. Because it's the same thing we're doing. So I think that might be me fixing that error. Let's jump over here, see if it recompiles. Okay. So I won't be able to test adverts unless it's on a physical device. I've never managed to get them working inside Unity's test environment, but I can test where these are compiled. And I can lose a life and see if it shows me the option. Oh, actually I've not set some things up, so that's not going to work. So if I go back over to Quiz Manager, I need to set up the extra life panel, the watch ad button, and the decline button. Now I've also not added any on clicks for them. So it doesn't tell me to set them up. It'll be interesting to see if these buttons actually do anything. Let's try playing it now. Okay, we're obviously in hardcore mode. Sorry, not hardcore mode, sorry. Survival mode. Okay, got a nice screen shake on that one. And on that one. Answer question correct, just to show. Okay. It's wrong. I did not get offered anything. But bet you that's because there's no ads available. Stop. So I will have to test this, I suspect, on a physical device. So again, new code added, but I'll have to put test survival ads survival panel add new for extra life on physical device. So hopefully that's implemented. Now obviously I can also go back and change these should these not be a thing. That was a lot more editing, to be fair, than I actually thought would be involved in that. So what else can we look at? Because basically for every one of these I've ticked off so far, I've added I have to test on physical device. I do tend to test on physical devices out with the streams. The main reason behind that is because sometimes it takes 20 or 30 minutes to actually compile. When we joke about Amax Games being designed in a budget, it's not really a joke. Like the laptop I'm using for this is 7.5 years old at this point. And when you're doing something that's quite intensive, like compiling something, it can take its time. In fact, I've seen it take over an hour and then crash before not actually physically manage to do the compile. So again, I have to kind of do that off stream. So which one of these can we do next? I mean, I could easily do the offer a double reward, offer double score for rewarded ad as well. That could be a nice easy win. I'm actually not sure if this is useful, to be fair. Because if I recall correctly, on a physical device, you don't always have send as an option. So you might have to click submit. Feedback directly to Discord. I think that's probably going to take some more time than I have at the moment. That's maybe going to be a stream in its own. Okay. So I'll see what ChatGPT thinks. Sorry, I'll see what Grok thinks with this one. Oops. What was it? What? No. Okay. I have no idea why it did that. There we go. So let's give it the new version of the code. Oops, not that code. That's this code. Just put thanks. I have integrated into rain quiz as follows. Okay. Did it make the 1500 lines yet? Nope, we're 4 short. Currently extra life of game isn't reset when you start and you play again. Okay, so inside restart game. Hide extra life panel in in-game if the player declines the offer. Okay. I like how it gives you these little updates. Obviously it didn't give us these when we asked it to make the code, or at least if it did, I missed them. But it's just giving little snippets of improvements. Offer extra life, disable the watch button temporarily. Okay, it should probably. So restart game, end game. Yeah, did that one. Fair enough. Awesome. Can we now offer the option to double your score if you want to be rewarded at in round mode? And it's hilarious, it's wanting to create another panel, basically the same one. So while it's thinking about that, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over here, back to our game. Select extra life panel, and I'm just going to duplicate it, and I'm going to rename it double score panel. Okay, inside double score panel, and watch add to double score. Also have watch add and decline add. Okay, let's go back to. Oops, wow, does it just give me? It's still writing it. It's writing a shitload of code. Interesting. I was not expecting it to give me the whole new set of code. It's still continuing to write that code. That's a lot of code for it to write out, I have to admit. Just giving her a minute or so to do that. That's interesting because that does not look like the full code. That's definitely not the full code. That ends at get difficulty 2, which means that this entire reward extra life, offer new extra life, etc. is gone. And just for value's sake, let's copy that. Let's run Notepad. At 1564, so maybe it is there, it's just maybe moved it about. So let's try, what's it called? Offer extra life. Offer double score. Offer, okay, so it is there. Fair play. It's always just move things around. In that case, I will copy it, jump across, I'll Control A, Control V, and save. Okay, but it's not the only thing that I need it to do. It's needed me to add this to Unity Ad Manager, which isn't correct because it's given me the wrong code again, but that's fine, I can work that one out myself. Save that, jump across. Okay. We had errors, but they appear to have disappeared now. What's next for your game? We add in more rewards, leaderboard, even maybe hints types. I should maybe see what other hints that it can offer me. So let's. So we need to be playing around, wouldn't we, for that to happen? And again, we need to test that in a physical device. So that's not something I'm going to be able to do right now. So again, I shall test double score. And physical device. Okay. So let's give it another easy one. When answering your question, rather can we add hitting enter turn? Actually, how would I word that? Because mobiles really they don't have enter and return in the same way. Might need to think about that one. Okay, let's back to our snagging list. Okay, so it has actually given me something else I want to think about. I want to think about a leaderboard. Set up a leader board. But I'm not sure how to do that because again we're trying not to use we're trying not to use lots and lots of things that we don't well, anything online that costs us money at the moment because we're a new company, we're not making any money, so we really don't want to spend on it if we can possibly avoid it. This entire company's been shoehorned into a budget of £1,000 in total. So it's not like we've got money to spare, and that's why I'm using a 7.5-year-old laptop, and that's my own laptop, it's not the company laptop. Okay, so we've made some progress. I'll tell you what I'll do just to fill up some more time on this one. We'll go back here and say, what suggestions do you have to improve the gameplay? I'll say the gameplay by that. I have a headache, that's not good. Man, look at the amount of suggestions that's come up with that like this. I mean, some of these could be quite, well, crap to put it bluntly, but let's find out. So let's go all the way up, see what it said to start with. Okay. Streak-based system, survival hardcore, introduce bonus cash or tokens for hitting streak milestones. 5, 10, 20 correct answers in a row. Show flash UI effect, e.g. particle system or screen shake and play. Perfect clip for milestones. Okay. I think it stopped playing perfect clip actually. I need to double check that. Add an achievement panel in the main menu to track milestones. Okay. Something like that could be interesting. So let's take its ideas. I'll put them in here. Like again, these are potential ideas. They don't necessarily become full ideas. So feedback with screen shake, we actually decided to put that one in. So daily streak, or no, question streak, rewards, daily login rewards, achievement, shelf, Okay, that's a possibility. It's a bit more difficult here. Okay, so it's also suggesting a high score menu. These are some really good ideas, but I think some of them are out with my current skill level. Actually, not so much as outside my current skill level, it's more outside my current budget for this game. Okay, so potential post score to social media. Yeah, I mean, these are really good, ideas. The friend challenge is a good idea, but it's a bit more difficult to do because it pretty much needs a database as a back end. I did consider a category question or a category variation. Add creative hints to show hints like eliminate wrong answer. Oh, I don't have multiple choice. And the category's not hidden, so that's not an issue. Multiple choice mode, something I've also considered. I've also considered a true false mode as well. I've never heard of dot meme. Definitely think I probably could do with some more sound loaded in the game, to be fair. Oh, ticking sound in survival. Oh, I like that one. I really do like that one. I mean, most people are likely to play this with the sound off, to be fair, but I do like the idea of elastic difficulty, but I think that's something I'll wait till I'm getting feedback from. Suppose that's the thing, right? Limiting to 3 ads a day also limits my ability to monetize. So it's a good idea, but I don't think it's the right one for me at the moment. Daily login bonus is a good idea. Do you know what? I'm going to put that in just now because that looks like it's just a drop-in replacement. A drop-in piece of code. Let's go back for a peek. Okay. So, with that in mind, let's look back at our game. I will do a backup. It's taking its time to compile. So that obviously doesn't work because it's not been actually called at the moment. That's why it's a darker colour. I should be able to put this up and start. End game. End game, end game, end game, end game, end game. Random question. Let's start there. Yes. So if I put this down the bottom somewhere. There we go. Go down the bottom, that should not be a dark colour. It's not. Sweet. Right. So that was nice and easy. It's taking its time to recompile every time I make a slight change now. So what do we need to do? I was going to create a backup, wasn't I? So I'm going to check in. What am I going to do? I'm going to check in. Added adverts, or added the word, ads, difficulty, ramping, and daily login bonus. Okay. Do that check in. Yep, save. Right, so what I wanted to look at was in here, fireworks. I wanted to look at these and see what they were like. Does not look like what I'm looking for. Can I play these? Mm. I think I need to work out how to use these. It's the first time I've actually downloaded something like this, but I like the idea of having fireworks go off on a perfect game. Right. So I think the share score on social media could be an interesting one to add. And it could be a nice quick one. I'm going to copy that. I'm just trying to put some quick wins in at this point because I've got to admit the last few streams we've had problems and I've never really... I've had issues. I felt like we've not actually achieved much. Okay, another player press for high score. Right, so I've already got save high score, so you will take that out for now. Okay. Okay. Well, we've got a daily login bonus then. Small wins. I'll add the save high score. I just need to find the right place to put it. There we go. Our quick easy win. I'll also ask it what additional hint text do you think I should add? And see what it says. No, hint categories are relevant. Not adding context to the database. An anagram of the answer. Ooh, did not think of that one. My eyes are going wonky trying to keep up with that, so I'll just give it a moment. See if Elon does something like, what's it called? Vibe coding using Grok. The way that it thinks, I think he'd be an absolute winner. I'd pay my £30 a month for that. Right, so I don't have an anagram hint. I do like reveal hint anagram. So Control F, reveal hint. Yeah, so I'll try and get all the hints in at the same bit. Okay, what was the next one? No. Okay, so of them, I only really added the anagram one. I'm not so sure about the reveal hint, vowels or consonants. Yeah, I'll copy it across anyway, and I'll implement it. I mean, I'll get feedback from others when they're testing it, I suppose. An anagram. Or constant. Okay, so that's another two types of hint added in. Okay. How unique sounds for each hint type. Hint availability, reveal hint definition from. No, I mean you can buy hints, so I really don't think that's an issue. You can buy hints in the store. Obviously, it's not context aware of the store. Okay, so let's just go for broke. Made the following changes. How do you feel about hint system? Perhaps the hint would be less random. At the moment, you can get repeated hints. Perhaps the hints should be less random. What do you think? It's going to take a while to sit and think about that. Suboptimal experience. No, I don't think I'd show a hint selection UI. I don't like that idea. I'm not worried about adding hints, questions of that. No, I don't know. I was sitting thinking if hint 1 equals so-and-so, if hint 2 equals so-and-so. So the hints get progressively more useful as it goes through. Okay, gonna rethink that. Anyway, I think that's that for tonight's stream. I've got to go and physically test all of this on a physical device, all the changes made tonight. So hopefully everything's going to be fine. And if not, then I'll be making changes the next time I come back on stream. So thank you for your company tonight, and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.